All right. Oh, it's Odin. What's up? John Wick, you know what time it is. How you doing, Odin? Yeah. Just drawing away. Trying to capture that John Wickathan energy. You know what I'm saying? crazy. Beards are fun to draw. Maybe it's because I can't grow a beard, but you know, they're cool. One day I'll be cool. One day. Boom. How's that hand looking? Where is my ruler? Where is ruler? There it is. Sick. So I got a drape right here. Swoop. And that's right there. Above his shoulder. Black this out. And then I'll do some lines. Trying to do like a dry brush thing right here. And then there's a lot of wood paneling up there, so most of it's in shadow. So whoop. And then do a little guy right here. Whoop. So if I finish this page early, I might do some, you might see me do some penciling on another page. But it depends on how fast I get this done. I'm definitely trying to get this done tonight, so glasses right there. Wham. That. Put some more glasses over here. Some texture. Wow. This little bar in the background. Fancy schmancy. Oh. Oh, jeez. Just a few lines for that. Okay, let me black out that area. What's this guy? No. Not juicy enough. Where's my juicy brush right here? It's juicy. It's got some juice. All the juice. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Put this ruler up there so I know where it is. They're weak. Like, looking at my wrinkles in my hand right now. Trying to capture that a little bit. Trying to capture those old mobster Russian hands, you know what I mean? Yeah. Is everything showing up? I hope everything's showing up alright. Mr. Awake. I'm gonna do some lines for the disc. That one. And then a little bit of some imperfect line, because I like those. crease of the cherries on. Something like that. Bring this down a little closer for you. Maybe I'll stop bumping into it. It's a little twisted. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like seeing where the focal point is, and then I'm just making lines going towards that focal point. Basically a vanishing point. Essentially what I'm doing. And the cup. Oh, don't know what I did just there. Oh well, it's okay. All good. And then some wood panelings right here. And that. I want you to see John Wick's hair here. So I don't want to go too crazy. With the blacks right there. Just fill it in a little bit. Okay, and then with this, I'll just put texture, and then this will be black. On the fly, let's go, baby. Yo, what's up, Code? Stream's going. It's going. We're doing it. Some more wick. Just gonna try and finish this page tonight. Maybe do some penciling. I don't know. See how long this page takes me. Hopefully not too long. How you doing, Code? Dude, at least you're doing it. I'm still trying to convince myself to start streaming again. I was doing some stream drifting. I noticed you hopped on. Yeah, dude. Why not? Start streaming. The hardest part is starting. You know? It's gonna take a slow build, but, you know, don't let that discourage you. So I know I was definitely streaming off and on for a little bit, and then until recently things have been working out, so it's pretty cool. As you can see, got a few people in here, pretty dope. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out, much appreciated. But yeah, just start. I use, you know, I stream on Twitch, and then I upload the streams onto YouTube, and that's been growing too. Just consistency. It's, as long as you keep showing up. Also experimenting with hatching on this dynamic pen I'm doing. It's going not well. Well, you know, you gotta experiment. Gotta experiment. Some things won't work out, but you'll learn from it. This mileage definitely helps. Even taking lessons from from other artists, you know, looking them up on YouTube, or even just studying old masters, like if you're doing hatching, even studying Albrecht Dürer. Holy cow, he's one of my favorite Renaissance artists. He's got great work. Yeah, I shoot for about a year on Facebook, did decently well, and just haven't been able to get back on Super Swamped all the time. The schedule is an issue as of now. Well, you know, I think people aren't really gonna notice, I don't think, because there's just so much content out there, you know, like there's a whole bunch of people reading different webcomics, a whole bunch of different people watching stream shows and stuff, so if they miss one episode, you usually come back to it if it's in your archive, right? So as long as you have a like backlog of stuff, people might rewatch it. I've been noticing that those numbers been going up too on Twitch, so people definitely come back and watch the videos, and I've seen it on YouTube too, just looking at the metrics there. So even if you can't make a super like tight schedule, just like showing up once in a while, like once a week maybe, keep it realistic for you. As I know things are about to get a little busier for me in the next month or two, because I'm going to be moving and stuff, but I still plan on streaming a little bit. Might miss like 1 week in September or whatever, but I'll definitely be back. Well, community always asks me when I'm coming back. It's kind of heartbreaking because I do not want to stream on Facebook this time around. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Can always, you know, start streaming on here, YouTube, wherever. Just tell that community to be like, hey, follow me over here. Change platforms. This works for me. I mean, this definitely works for me, so. So I'm gonna keep doing it. These moves are terrible. My full-time job is maintenance. People are always so stressed out. Hopefully yours goes smooth. Yeah. It shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. I'm not super stressed out about it. It's definitely gonna take a little bit, but might take a little getting used to because of the room I'll be in is a little tighter than the one I am in now, so, and it's with family, but it's all good. All good. I got goals, so it'll only be a temporary thing. Okay. Let's get that. I want to get these speed lines down here. Whoops. Actually, I'm gonna use a micron. Hold on. I don't want to ruin that brush pen on my ruler. I take care of my grandparents, so I know what you mean. It was meant to be a temp thing, but the economy took it down. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much a similar boat, dude. Not gonna lie. There's definitely some stuff going on. I won't get into it, but yeah. Times can get tough. Stay positive, though. It's only a temporary thing. Easier said than done, though. But I get it. Sorry if I'm blowing into the mic. I'm just trying to dry these lines a little bit before I put the next one down. I don't want anything to smudge like yesterday. Hope everybody's doing good. I don't expect you to get into it, but I get it personally. It'd be fine. It's just they can't do it, so it sucks. But yeah. No, yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, family first. Family first. They're always there. Gotta help them out. I know I've been helped out by my family a few times, so it's the least I can do. Least I can do. Still gonna be hitting up cons and stuff though. Either as a as an attendee or a vendor at some. I will be at Lightbox Expo. I won't be tabling at Lightbox because that would be insane to do as an indie artist. I feel like, or me at least. I don't have the biggest following in the world. I don't have a whole lot of prints and stuff that would really strike a lot of people. I don't do a lot of manga stuff or fan art stuff as I'm drawing as I'm drawing a fan art book. But I'll definitely have more stuff next year, so once next year rolls around, I'll definitely have a lot more prints and mini comics to push a little bit while I go to cons. Sweet, you do cons? Yeah, we just started doing them. Me and my buddies in the Mouth Breathers Guild. Kevin Tannhauser, and also known as Kiwi Spicy. We've been doing some cons recently, along with Christian Yang, our head game designer. Kevin's our lore master / writer, so he's definitely been helping out with that and tagging along with the cons. So we're trying stuff, seeing what works, but primarily we're focused on like trying to build a fan base on our game and everything. But we'll see what happens. I love the table at cons, just don't have enough content yet. Maybe next year. Yeah, definitely don't just don't buy a table and then be like, all right, what do I need to make? Like, definitely have stuff under your belt before you do it. Like, definitely have prints available, have books available, and then be like, oh, there's a con coming. I'm gonna sign up for it since I have some stuff. If it's not too expensive for you, like I know some cons are pretty crazy, like San Diego and stuff. It's like in the thousands for a table. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But if it's like $100 for a table or something, then maybe think about it. But definitely if it fits in your budget to do. it makes sense. Especially like if you have a full-time job, so you have like security that you know you'll be fine even if you don't make money. I mean, because me and my buddies, we did Heroes Con last year, or earlier this year. We didn't make much of anything, but it's all good. It was a learning experience. We know what to do next year. Like definitely having like fan art stuff or like things that are relevant, you know, right now in like pop culture. Like if Spider-Man movie's coming out or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies coming out, then maybe have some stuff to catch some eyes, and then while they're there for the familiar stuff, maybe they'll like your original stuff, you know. But I'm not like super big into doing fan art stuff unless I'm really into it, like John Wick. And then I also have this Deep Rock Galactic book that I did that not a lot of people know about, but I love that game, so I made a book for it. Kind of dove into the lore a little bit. Had fun. Also experimented with that book a little bit too. Tried to do some like watercolors and stuff. That was cool. That was fun. Which is also available on my Gumroad if you want to check that out. I think I have a colored version and a black and white version of the Legend of Carl on Gumroad. It's also free, but you can donate if you want, but it's a free PDF, so. For sure, I've only actually been implementing my story and illustrations for 7 to 8 months. The story writing itself I've been doing for years now. I just haven't done soloable content until recently. It'd be awesome to take my stuff there. Right now I'm starting a Patreon for some of the potential fans. Okay. And local friends, family who have been following since I've started teasing. Sweet, dude. It's awesome. Yeah, I have yet to do the Patreon thing. So maybe when I feel up for it, I'll give that a shot. But yeah, that's awesome. Keep doing it. You know, it's only up from here, dude. Just keep making stuff. Just keep showing up. Can't get worse at something you do every day. At least that's the idea. Obviously you want to be mindful about everything you do, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. I'm stoked to see everything you're working on come to light so far. What I've seen is really great. Hey, I appreciate it, Code. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying. I'm trying. I got a lot of stories I want to do, but right now I just want to test with, you know, working with my buddies. I want to test some stuff out, doing that, and then slowly build my personal work, like my personal IPs and stuff that I want to do. Which I've been slowly building some concept art and stuff for that. Might be a little bit until some of those stories come to life, but for now, me and my buddy Kevin we're working on a lot of cool stuff right now, so I mean, we got the Renowned books, we got these mini comics we're trying to do. But then we also got other ideas that we want to bring to the table at some point. So we'll see. You'll definitely be in the know if you keep showing up to the streams or signed up for the signed up on our Discord and whatever. You'll definitely know when things start rolling. Choop. I know I'm not the only one that does sound effects when he draws. So. Whoop. My roommates probably think I'm crazy, but it's fine. It's worth it. Hello, I'm a beginner digital artist. I'm looking to get better. I always draw the face a circle, not clean a jaw, but never get better. Any advice? Any advice? Well, any advice? What would I say? Well, you can always, study up on Andrew Loomis. And there's also a technique of breaking down faces in 3 values. It's kind of more of a painterly approach. Let me see. Let me see if I can explain this a little bit better. So if you look up Jonathan Hardesty, this is what I've learned from Jonathan Hardesty. It was like, let's take this, right? This guy's face. I'll move this camera up a little bit. This guy's face right here. Breaking that down into 3 values, right? And what I mean by that is you have the lighter values, right? Just like take photos or whatever, like digitally, you're doing it digitally, right? So just like copy and paste a photo and then just trace out. Like this is a light value, this is a light value over here, this is a light value over here, and then it gets darker. Like this is like where the teeth are right there, that's darker, the nostrils, all that stuff. Break it down into like 3 different values. You mean 3D or a reference? Just a reference, just a photo. Just a photo. And break it down into shapes. Like this neck, that would be one shape. Like just blur your eyes until, or like look between your eyelashes so your eyes are like squinty, you know? Like your eyes are open like this, right? Or like that. Now squint them. Squint them down. Don't close them, but squint them. And then you're gonna see things kind of get simplified, right? And so just try and break those down. Try and do like some design with your with the faces. It's gonna look weird, but try that out. Look up Jonathan Hardesty. He's got his course on schoolism.com, Essentials of Realism. If you're trying to do a digital approach to it, since you said you're a digital artist, and of course there's always the Andrew Loomis method. This is a really good book, Figure Drawing for All It's Worth. This is going to break things down. I mean, see this right here? He's breaking this. This is one value, boom, and then the shadow is another value, and then he's designing with the hair. Like you can. This is basically 3 values, 3 different values. There's 4, but there's. Just imagine that it's 3. You know. It'll definitely help you break things down, make it more like a puzzle. It's a different different approach, I guess. Thank you. The many drawings, yeah, for sure. Probably if I may reference a lot and practice some of your favorite styles, definitely listen to what man is saying, but referencing was a lifesaver for me. Sometimes the imagination is enough. Oh, definitely reference. Definitely reference as much as you can. Literally fill up a sketchbook of references. And I know I have a whole bunch of sketchbooks filled with Jack Kirby sketches, Carl Kapinski sketches, even James Herron, Daniel Warren Johnson, David Rubin, Alex Toth stuff. I mean, there's just like any artist that you love, especially Carl Kapinski. I love him. So I did a lot of studies of that. And I just filled up my sketchbook of just faces that Carl Kapinski did. And I copied it. Copied every face, right? And then if you like the way they draw hands, you copy the way Jack Kirby draws hands. Copy the way James Herron does feet. Copy the way Daniel Warren Johnson does legs, for example, right? You just pick your art parents. And I think also dive into the Draftsman podcast. And they're definitely they do a lot of talks for students. They explain a lot of things really well. And I think that'll definitely benefit you, especially Marshall Vandriff. He has a lot of really good courses, a lot of really good insight on art and what to do. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate the follow, Trav. Truth's one. No problem at all. I'm still a rookie in actual terms. Yeah. The what podcast? The Draftsman podcast. I know if you follow Proko, Stan Prokopenko, but his YouTube channel is just Proko, and he's literally an art educator on YouTube. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Schoolism. The guy that runs Schoolism is Bobby Chu, who also runs Lightbox Expo in Pasadena, California. Is one of the biggest cons or conventions for animators, illustrators, comics artists, concept artists, a whole bunch of stuff, visual development artists, everything. So definitely check them out. What were the names of the two artists you mentioned for values again? Jonathan Hardesty. Here, I'll send y'all a link. Jonathan Hardesty. Copy. Paste. Check this guy out. And then also I'm gonna find the Proko's channel. I'll send that in the link as well. Definitely learned a lot from these guys. Yoder Media, hello, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, of course. Anytime. Oh, also, let me put in Schoolism as well. I mean, that's Jonathan Hardesty's link is a link to Schoolism, but also Bobby Chu is a fantastic artist to follow on there. And I will also, you know what, while I'm here, we'll put the Draftsman podcast up here too. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic channel. Boom. Check them out. It's good stuff. I was doing some similar ink work on stream. Oh yeah? That's good. That's good stuff. I like that. I like the sound of people making stuff. That's my favorite kind of sound. But yeah, everybody check those links out. That's gonna definitely help me level up as an artist. But also definitely focus on making your own like projects while you're learning. Don't just stick to skill based. Like, always have a goal. You want to do an illustration. You want to be able to design a character this month? Do that. You know, focus on elements that'll help you design a character. And then maybe by the end of the year, you want to do an 8-page comic. Then build up concepts, build up characters, world, all that stuff that leads you to do a project. Because the way that I've leveled up a lot is by doing comics, is by doing the project that I wanted to do. And Steven Sabato will talk about that a lot. Yep, these guys are great teachers. See, Yoder Media, they know what they're talking about right there. But Steven Zapata has definitely drilled that into my brain when I took his workshop a few years ago. Also an amazing artist. Well, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. What was I doing? Lost my train of thought. But yeah, hope that helped you. Condark. I know I could ramble sometimes. I get into it when I go off track. So. What helped me the most was just doing whatever my end goal was in my head. If I wanted to make a webtoon, instead of just waiting until I thought it was good enough, I just started it and learned along the way. It forced me to do things I never drawn or even considered drawing before, and my skills jumped tenfold. Yeah, literally the same. Literally, I did the same thing. I was like, I'm definitely not good enough for this right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I learned so much by doing that. Like, you can go on Webtoon right now and find my first attempt at comics. Just called 3 for 3. And you'll see, looking at the last episode that was posted many years ago, and the first episode that was posted many years ago, it's a big jump. Big jump. Because as you're drawing, you're just like, I don't know how to draw that table in this perspective. I don't know how to draw that gun in this perspective. I don't know how to draw this person in that. And you just you look up those references that are at least close enough to the thing that you need, and you just go. You just do a whole bunch of research. You level up along the way. Just have to do it, you know. Don't wait for permission, just do it. 3 for 3 was a banger, man. I appreciate it, man. I don't feel the way. I don't feel that way, but the first attempt at 3 for 3 was it was all right. You know, I was trying. I definitely improved a lot towards the end. I don't even think I posted the whole 64-page book on Webtoon. Because before that, it was like 100 pages of just like me learning how to tell a story. But I needed to do that. Strong work ethic goes so far. Followed you on Institute. Hey, I appreciate it, Yoda. Much appreciated. If you love to do it, you'll remaster your pages. Having to redo things should feel like a challenge, you know. And I have like 5 pages that I know I need to redo because I just learned Clip Studio Paint, digital art at the same time as learning perspective, dynamic posing, and now I'm more comfortable than ever in 8 months max. Yeah, see that? I definitely leveled up a lot in a few months just by doing my own personal project. And I recommend everyone do that. There's definitely people in the Steven Sapato workshop that I met that were working towards doing their own personal thing, and Steven was cheering them on the whole time, and definitely giving them like advice on how to improve and everything. Like, definitely, you know, you can have your like some skill-based stuff, you know, do your portrait studies like in the morning or whatever as a warm-up. Don't just do that all day. Like, do that as like an hour, you know, exercise if you have the time, you know, maybe 15 minutes. or whatever. Just try and get 1% better every day. Small achievable goals. Because you want to have that love, that fire in you to do it that whole time. You know, you don't want to get burnt out. You don't want that fire to go away. Because if you're just doing skill-based stuff, that fire might go down a little bit. But to keep it interesting for you, keep it fun for you, you're going to keep doing it no matter what. That's what it's all about. How did you set up your website? That's one thing I've never completed as an artist. All I did, I just used Squarespace. I just used Squarespace. They got some templates already set up for you, so you can just like drag and drop things in there. They've probably updated it a lot since I've made mine, because I still need to update my my website, honestly. But I am thinking about getting a little wild and using WordPress and literally making my website. Just because I want to, but yeah, if you're just starting out, if you're just getting your feet wet in this kind of stuff, definitely try out Squarespace or Wix. It's like the same thing, but dude, I miss the feeling of completing a piece. Dude, Odin, complete a piece. New sketch. What are you doing, silly pants? Come on now. You can do it. You silly Willy. You gotta make stuff. I'll be your hype man. Let's go. Let's make stuff. Now I just draw stuff for my son and daughter. Hey, that's beautiful. That's awesome. That's so wholesome. I don't even think you understand. That's amazing. You have an audience, dude. Gotta give the people what they want. Your son and daughter want more stuff. Just draw them doing some crazy superhero stuff. I just did over 250 strokes on my line layer. I'm gonna cry. Hatched all over my lines. Ooh. It's okay. It's okay. You leveled up. Okay? You leveled up. Now you're gonna do those lines even better than you did before. Think about it. Take a breather. Walk away. But you leveled up a little bit. You're 1% better right now. You're 1% better. To be honest, it was all experimental, but damn, they were looking so good too. Ooh, it's okay. I was penciling stuff at work the other day, and on Clip Studio Paint, you know how the save button is right next to the close button? Well, guess what I pressed? After 30 minutes of penciling a page, which was pretty much done, I closed it, didn't save it. The option to save came up, but I didn't read it. I just clicked no, and you know. But it's okay. That page was done. It's inked and everything. I honestly feel like I probably did it faster the second time around because I already solved the problems in my mind, or you know, when I penciled it the first time. So I knew the problems that needed to be solved. Did it again. I was like, all right, well, I'll just, you know, I'll find the fun again. It's fine. I did those strokes probably 50% faster. But it's all good. All good. Just gotta stay positive. I did want to scream at the time, but you know, you can't really do that in the cafeteria at work. So, I mean, I could get in trouble, but something like that happened to me the other day. I was on lunch with my iPad and I walked away to do something for my boss. Came back and CSP auto updated before I could save. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. That's not fun. But you know, it happens. It happens. I know I've worked on stuff before and then the power went out. You know, there's so many ways it's happened in the past. You know. Oh, got another follow. Snow Golem Vincent. Hell yes. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Needless to say, auto update is turned off at this point. Yeah. Yeah, definitely turn that auto update off. Dang, that's something. That's not cool. I mean, I'm not too worried about this. This bottle doesn't really look good, but this is going to be trimmed off, so close to the edge. Not too worried about it. Finish, not perfect. I can't decide whether this panel needs hatching or not. I've been using hatching through everything else, but I've done a ton of folds on the clothes, and having to hatch over them feels discouraging. Well, I say put all the main lines in first, see how you feel. Or maybe even time yourself. So I know I've done that. You don't want to spend too long on a page because people are going to read it in like 5 seconds. You know. I've given people a book that I've done before, and I just see them blast through it like nothing. I'm like, dude, oh man. I'm just like, dude, I spent hours on that. You're not looking at all the art I put on there. What are you doing? But it's okay. And that's when I was like, I should probably not be super perfectionist about things. So I limit myself to my redos, going back to the redo kind of stuff. Um, I don't like when I did my first book. I definitely wanted to redo a lot of stuff, and I did. I did redo some pages. But after a while, I was like, I'm leveling up so much. Um, every few months, I, kind of get the urge to redo a page or something, and then it's like, I just need to set a limit to myself. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll draw this book out, and then I'll limit myself to 1 or 2 pages to redo. If they're that bad, then I'll redo them. So that way I wasn't redoing the whole thing like I felt like doing a few times. So giving yourself some limitations is definitely good. I know, but the perfectionist inside of me either way screams if I do and screams if I don't. I feel like you're right. It's less of the evils of spending less time for sure. I mean, look at for good examples of people like not redoing stuff, but you see them level up like crazy. Is James O'Barr with The Crow. Oh my gosh. That is one of my favorite books, and you see him level up like an insane amount from the first issue to the last. He's putting his heart and soul onto those pages, dude. And I'm sure he wanted to redo some stuff, but he didn't. I mean, some things look really wonky, and some things don't, or whatever. But man, it's such a good book. It's such a good book. Definitely check it out if you haven't. It's very dark. It's very dark. I'll warn you. I'll let you know that. It's extremely dark, but you see James O'Barr level up like an insane amount. Like, it's amazing. And people are gonna, if people are following your stuff and everything, and they see you level up that whole time, that's like part of the journey. Like, they were there for that, I was there for Daniel Warren Johnson's Space Mullet when he was posting that on his website as a webcomic for a little bit before he blew up and did Ghost Fleet. Like, people love seeing the growth. Okay, what was I gonna do? Lost track of time. What was I doing? Maybe I'll do this. Knowing that the project progresses significantly throughout the chapters, as a reader, you see it for sure. It's appreciated more by the real readers and artists, but I feel like most readers will see it too. I mean, but what you want is your true fans, People like you got the taste. You like your story, right? You're not the only one that feels that way. You're not the only one with that taste. There's definitely at least 1,000 other people. There's more than that, but as long as you get 1,000 true fans over the next, I don't know, 10 years, right? Over the next 10 years, get 1,000 fans. I don't think that's an ambitious goal. I think that's a realistic goal, but like, that's what you want, especially as an independent artist. That's all you need. Oh. Excuse me. Just let it rip there. Oh yeah. Unapologetically myself. That's right. That just happened. Yeah, this is behind the scenes, you know. Things happen. That's great. Dang. Yeah, code. That's a good one. Can't wait to have someone read my story and love it. It's a driving force. Real goal is to create an MC or OC in general and have someone look up to them. That'd be great. That'd be great. That's a good goal to have. What is the manga name? Yeah, code. Drop your drop the name. Drop the name in there. Ugh, why is everything dry? Why is everything dry? Hold on, I gotta pour some ink into my little cup here. There we go. Spilled a little bit. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Let's see how much black I have on this page. Alright. Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this page down so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna put the magnets in, and then we're gonna go for it. Yeah, post away, code, post away. The people want to know. People want to know. So all my links are in the link tree below, so you can go ahead and check that out. Code's posted a few stuff in the Mouth Breathers Guild Discord channel. So if anyone's interested, you can join that. Get a little nerdy, you know. Share your interests, share whatever you're into, because most likely we all have similar tastes. Hey, you know. Yeah, we definitely want to see everything blow up, you know what I mean? Especially nowadays. Need more people making cool stuff. Now more than ever. Support your artists. Just join. Nice. Thank you, Khan. Appreciate it. Yeah, on the Mouth Breathers Discord, we'll be posting updates about our game, about webcomics that we're doing and publishing, where we're gonna be. Like, also we'll have newsletters stuff and everything on there too. So if you're really into it, it's a good thing to sign up for. We also trying to build a community on there too. So if you have art you want to share, anything nerdy at all that you want to nerd out about, go ahead. Any music you want to share with us, like whatever you do, whatever you like, you know, definitely we can definitely discuss about it in the channel. Have a good time, you know, all positive vibes in there. Nothing but good people so far. So it's been cool to see that grow over the past month. Actually, it's been crazy. Sweet. Yeah. That'll be nice. Let us know. Give us some updates in the Discord channel when you update it, my friend. Build it, and they will come. Big support for you too. What? No worries. May draw. Can I know or call you any name? I don't know your name. Manny works. Appreciate the support, my friend. Well, the least I could do is give time frame for the first 5 chapters. I'm aiming for next March. Nice. Nice. Setting realistic goals. I like that. That's a start. Now you got a deadline. Gotta meet that deadline. So you're gonna post the first 5 chapters of the book? Like how many pages is that? How many pages are you trying to get done before March? Thanks for allowing me to talk about my project. I'm in no way trying to take your thunder, man. Here's the real artist. And there's... Alright. No, I do not mind y'all sharing your stuff. Do not mind at all. Now, if you turn out to be a bot code, I'm going to be very upset. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, go ahead, share your stuff, dude. This is looking probably a little weird right now, but it's okay. No bots, I pinky swear. Alright, good. That's right. Yeah, don't be afraid to share some updates in the Discord channel too. I don't know, you're making me scared of bots now. No, Trev, we had a bot come in last night on the stream. So it was just weird. It's like, oh, do you want more follows? Go ahead and click, pay this certain amount and get more follows, blah blah blah. And I see that stuff on Instagram all the time. It's like, yeah, I want fake follows. That's really what I want. That's so dumb. So dumb. There was one yesterday that just popped out. Yeah, code, yeah. Once I have the first chapter finished, I'll be making a TikTok and stream for it, either on Twitch or Kick. Haven't decided. What is Kick? Dude, yeah, I sometimes on Instagram I'll post something and then there's just immediately a bot that follows, and you can tell they're bots. It's because they don't have any follows, they have 1 or 0 posts, and it's weird. It's really weird. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? I do Twitch, not Kick. Kick is heavily involved with gambling. I have no idea what Kick is. It's a newer streaming service. It has an app and all. It's actually doing pretty well in terms of stealing big streamers from Twitch. Really? Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Man, bots now making, I don't know, like, put a female. Yeah, it's gross. Like, you can immediately tell that it's a bot. And if people fall for that, then that's whatever. Not my business, I guess. But it's like, that's definitely not a comics fan. Click here for my OnlyFans. Just like, alright. Please leave me alone. All the same. All the bots are the same. I mean, so was Twitch until they stopped it. I agree, I'm not a fan of the gambling, but yeah, it's still a viable option as of now. I'm not sure about the future of it though. Wait till we see a real human. I don't know about saying follow me for a VR OnlyFans view, sorry. I'm just no, you're good. You're fine. Actually, I don't really like the way that looks. Yeah, whatever. Need more ink. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I need to take a second look. What am I missing? Yeah, no bot zone. That's what I'm talking about. The bots out of my face. Get those bots out of here. Yeah, I dare a bot to show up right now. Dare him. Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable about that world of digital versus traditional with mangaka. I have no idea. I would assume that most of them are using digital, or at least a hybrid of the two. I know I saw one guy who was doing I don't know his name, but I had a friend send me like a process video of this dude, and he was doing traditional stuff, and then he would scan it in, print it out again, and then do like really quick halftones or a really quick gray wash. It would scan that gray wash in, and then press a button, and it would turn into halftones, and then into a halftone screen. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll steal that. Maybe I'll steal that idea. Like hatching and line work is mostly done on paper and ink, and halftones are scanned and done digitally. Yeah, yep. That's pretty much what I'm going to do for one of my books that I'm working on. Because I have some pages with actual halftone screens on it, but dude, it's like so expensive. At least in America, it's stupid expensive to get halftone screens. I had a friend send me some halftone screens, and they were like $4 a piece, versus like buying it on Amazon is like $20 for one screen. It's kind of dumb. Just a little dumb. What is sitting right here? Why is there a bump here? I just got something over there. Sorry guys, you know my country. It's getting late. I need to sleep. Sorry. Tomorrow 5 minutes on YouTube. How many? Let me see you soon. It's anything. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. If you need to go, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you hanging out and all the follows and everything and the support. It means a lot. But you need your rest. And I totally understand. So I also have work tomorrow, so no worries. I appreciate it, Code. And Trev. Oh boy. Nope. Now what is right here? Good night, my friend. See you next time. I'll probably be getting off here soon too, actually. It's nearly 11, so this page is pretty damn close to being done. Just a few more details here and there, and then I'll call it. Oh, oh man. Lines. Because I can. Ho! We got another follow. Tutor makes comics. What's up? Or is it Tudor? Huh? I don't know. But thank you for the follow, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. Hope the night is going well for you and your comics making. Just putting in tick marks because I want to. Putting tick marks down here, up there. Background. Loving the progress since yesterday, man. Looking good for real. Thank you, Code. I'm trying. I haven't really done like a noir kind of thing before, so kind of trying to release my inner Sean Phillips style. fancy, you know, like feel to this woodwork in the background here, you know. Give a little spice to the background, but not too much. You know, you don't want too much spice. Don't overdo the spice. I'm not trying to overdo the spice. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I never asked, but what are your primary pens? My primary pens? So typically I use this Kuretake brush pen, but since it's been running dry and I haven't refilled it with ink, I haven't been using it much. But I just recently discovered this brush right here, actually. This brush. Thin line. I don't know. Can you read that? Is it focused in? This one is sweet. It gives a really nice line. I inked some pages with this with the Renown book, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, check this. Look at that tip, dude. Look at that thing. It's nice. It's sturdy. Feels good. Clearly not a lot of ink in this thing, but this one's great. Was it Thin Line Samiro? Don't really know. I think I found that on JetPens and I just bought it. I was like, I'm gonna try it out. But these are the Kuretake, is it Bimoji pens? I don't know if Noah's still here. Funky Flash Man, I don't know if he's still here, but pretty sure he's been messing with these too. These have a whole bunch of different tips. I like this tip the most. It has a nice little flex to it. Yes, Noah's still here. So, how do you feel about these pens, man? You've been trying them out, right? Oh, see, there you go. It's been using it. But they also got like, you know, markers like this. Like I've been coloring the background here with this guy, this chunky mess. And they got like actual brush pens that come along in that one package. I recommend trying them out. They're pretty cool. Samira is great. I've heard anything Japanese is great. I've found even the low end ballpoints are fantastic if you like to sketch ballpoint. Ooh, yeah, I do. I don't know there is ballpoint stuff like that. Yeah, no problem. And the Pentel pocket brush pens are pretty good. And I've been using this guy too. This is the Pentel Sign pen, but I primarily use it for borders. For you know, the panel borders. Just primarily use it for that because it's got a nice like chunk to it. I just press down and I get a nice line weight out of it. I don't really use it for anything detailed, but it's good. It's good to use, I've found. I don't know what I did right here. I don't know what this is. So, when in doubt, black it out. Who's in here? Who's in here?
This is George.
George
Jetson.
George, what are you doing, George?
I live in a spaceship.
What are you doing in a spaceship, George?
Yeah, here I am.
Dude.
Oh wait, let me go onto the stream. Well, hello, look at all these other beautiful people in chat.
Right? Look at them.
We got Xera, we got Noah, we got someone TRVX, and I don't know who that is. Oh, they left already.
Yep. They signed off.
Because they hate me. Because they knew I was coming.
They're like, no,
So-
I gotta get out of here before George comes.
Yeah, George Jetson. It's funnier because I'm Asian. Hello. I'm finished with concepting, so I'm gonna just straight execution. So I am sculpting right now.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it's cool to have a game plan and let's go for it.
That's right.
And you're doing it too. You're doing the art.
I'm doing things, dude.
We got Tion Chrissy MBG says, which chat is this?
Oh, it's Christian.
Oh, hey Christian, it's Sam.
What's up? What's up?
Um,
Oh, we're in Sam's server.
Should we switch to your server?
We could. We could.
Should we just do that? Let's do that for the cause.
Okay.
I'll see you
Alright.
over there.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Let's see if Sam can join this.
Hey, oh, and oh, that explains the MBG part of Christian. Okay,
Yep.
I'm dumb. I look at the handle and I understand it now.
I see.
I'm
Yeah,
a
Christian's
dumb
got it, and Kevin's got it on his.
Oh, Kevin's got it.
Oh, Kevin's got it. He's got it.
I've met him in person, so I know he's got it. It is also very nice to meet you, Christian. Although I don't have your voice, so I'm just gonna imagine it as like, you know, really cool. Really
You
cool
know,
voice.
something about Christian is that he's also Asian. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Awkward.
Awkward.
Do we have to kill each other? There can only be one in the room at the same
I
time.
can there's only one.
It's sometimes our friend Nate comes. He's half Vietnamese, and it's okay. You can have 1.5, but you can't have 2.
You can't have the whole thing.
That's too much. That's too much.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey, Ben
Says,
Sam.
I am Asian. I'm assuming we are different Asians, so that should be okay. Very good point. I'm
There we
also
go.
a lawyer, and that's a very good lawyer argument you just made. Your Honor, you know, the public policy behind this law is not to have too many Asians, but different kinds of Asians.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Vietnamese. Do you know what kind of Asian Christian is?
He's Hmong.
Oh, okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There's
And my buddy
we
Justin. No.
Yeah, it's I mean there are Hmong who live in Vietnam, yeah, but they're not ethnically we're different. Yes.
Oh. Interesting. I know
Yes,
he's
Christian.
he's dove into a little bit about the Hmong culture. I know
Oh.
Justin talked to me about it a little bit too.
Oh, Kevin says, "Hi Sam, love you. Bedtime for Kiwi. Love
yeah.
you too, Kevin. Good night, beautiful, beautiful man." Sarah says it's a written rule, only one Asian at the same time. Yeah, that's right. Christian, yes, I do. And a lot of it is being Vietnam. So when I went to Vietnam, I actually like hung out with Hmong people because, as you probably know, like Hmong people aren't really treated with a lot of respect in Southeast Asia. Because many of them
Whoa.
are quite indigenous or have been like there for like many more generations. There are these really, really cool little towns, mostly in the hills, with people who are Hmong and speak Hmong, and there are these like Shaivite temples, like to the temple Shiva, because there was this huge interesting cross section of like this like strand of Hinduism, specifically Shaivite Hinduism, in Vietnam amongst Hmong people, which is a really interesting thing. And the temples are gorgeous. They're beautiful.
Of course they are. Of course.
But it's really interesting with like, ethnicity is an interesting thing because it's like human culture is so nuanced, So it's sort of like Mexicans face so much discrimination in the US, and but then Mexicans are the bullies in Mexico to indigenous people, right? It's like to Mixtec people and other indigenous people. So it's just like everyone totally depends on where you are. Like people think of Japanese people as being super innocent and stuff, but if you're from Asia, they are what the Nazis are to us.
Oh my god.
Many Japanese people are, right? Because like they committed atrocities during the World Wars. So
Oh wow.
it's all
Yeah.
it's all nuanced. Christian says, "Wow, I never heard of that. Not many people know that we were treated pretty bad in Asia." Yeah, but it's crazy because like they were among dynasties, right, for centuries.
Yeah.
So it's like it just goes back to my theme of like people on, power shifts like that. And I mean, when I say that, I make it sound like I'm like into power. I'm not. I would rather do without it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just trying to be I just want vibes, man.
I just want vibes.
Just want vibes, bro.
Where are your vibes, bro? What about the vibes?
Good inking. Excellent inking. How's are you avoiding smudges?
I'm trying to. I'm letting it dry a little bit so I don't smudge all the stuff that I just put down.
Christian says the only reason we're in the U.S. is because we helped them in Vietnam Wars. Right. That's right. Christian, do you know if there are like major cities where there's a pretty major Hmong American population? I actually don't know. Because with Vietnamese people, it's we're kind of all over the place, unfortunately. But primarily in California, of course, Seattle and Houston and the Gulf Coast are the key places where Vietnamese people are.
That's crazy.
Xera says, I'm starting to figure out when Sam is here, my brain increases in size, and with Manny, I become inspired. So, big fan, big fan. I mean, it's all... Look, when I hang out with Manny, something definitely grows in size, you know?
Oh my god! Just saying.
Just saying, bro.
Oh, it got me. It got me.
I don't know. It's an actual art comment. I don't know if you experienced this, Manny, but like, Anthony Jones has this really, really great distinction where he's like, there's a design stage of art, and then there's the execution, right? And they can move in and out of each other, but like, when you're doing, a lot of times beginners conflate the two, but like designing is its own thing, right? And then when you execute, when you're just focusing on painting, or in my case sculpting, like it doesn't mean that you like throw design out the window, but it's just you're not really thinking about it as much. And that's kind of where I am right now, where I'm really trusting my instinct and honestly allowing myself to kind of fuck up, because I don't, my problem is that back when I was painting more, I would always be looking over my shoulder, if that makes sense, and always like every second be like, was that good? Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah,
like,
did I do it right? Did I do it right? Yeah.
Exactly. I just don't think that's sustainable, like you.
No, it's
also
not.
Because sculpting and inking and drawing and painting, they're just fun, and I think it's like, just let it be fun, like don't worry too much about it being perfect. And because they're like, I already did the work, I already did the planning, right? So I already know what the game plan is, so you just gotta do it now.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. Easier said.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get you.
Let's see. Xera said, you too. I assume this is in response to when I said something grows big. He says, you too. Thought that was just
Yeah. That's funny.
If you say, as a homosexual, I can, as a homosexual lawyer, I can say, if you just say no homo afterward, it's all good. This is actually, technically, I'm not gay, because every time I hook up with a guy, I just say no homo afterward.
Oh, no homo.
I've actually,
like, yeah,
I've
yeah,
actually
yeah.
never had sex. Never had sex with a man, honestly. So legally, I've never. Christian says 3 different places: Minnesota/Michigan area, California, certain parts, Fresno primarily. Yes, actually, I totally forgot about that. And I'm about to get to that in a moment. He also says North Carolina, Hickory, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, Hickory's definitely.
You guys know each other.
Yep.
Christian says, Sam, are you a lawyer at a game studio? So sort of. I'm a lawyer for Skybound, for their video game business. Until very recently, we didn't have our own studio. So I was supporting our publishing business. So like, typically indie developers. So when there was like a developer who would make a game, if they didn't want to actually do the publishing themselves, we would do that. Skybound, as you might know, like we're behind The Walking Dead. We own the IP. Well, we co-own that with Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
And Invincible, which we also co-own with Robert and Corey and Ryan. But I can say now, because we're making all these announcements, like at Comic-Con we made all these game announcements, but we're really growing that business. It's why they hired me. to help grow that business. But we have a studio now. We're working on an Invincible game. I actually just met the new art director whom we just hired.
What?
Yeah,
Hey,
and
this-
it's I can't give you details because that's under NDA, but we are like it's pretty public knowledge that we're working on a new Invincible game. And
I had
it's
no
gonna be
idea.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. It's like a few years out, you know, it's like maybe
Oh,
2
yeah.
years out. But we just hired an AD, and he's great. This is public knowledge, so I can say his name's Tyler. He's been an AD before, but like on a limited project. But primarily he was the lead character artist on God of War 3. And yeah, so he's really, and I think he did freelance work for a minute, but I think he really. I have my intro call with him next week, but my understanding is that I think he really likes being an AD. Like even in the first email where we introduced each other, like he already wanted to talk about legal issues, because like, and that's like manager thinking, right? Like
Yeah.
how do we make sure our artists don't get afoul of like use of IP and stuff like that? I was like, yep, that's all me, man. That's all I do. And he said he would exchange in exchange for my legal advice, he'd give me art tips, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Obviously, I'm salaried, so I don't need that, but I'll take it. So it's really cool to be an artist and like a lawyer, because I actually like being a lawyer, you know.
Yeah.
But it's cool to be with my people. Like and I've been really stoked when I found out that we're opening up our own art studio, because I did work with artists before, but like I didn't work with my own team. So now I get to help build the art team up from a legal standpoint and help them think through, like, you know, how do we use assets? How do we use, you know, because some of it's kind of sketchy. I used to be at EA, and I can't really talk in detail about it, but let's just say that like even a big company like that would mess up sometimes. Like you'd have a concept artist who would use some pattern like in game on an asset. It turns
Yeah.
out that pattern was copyrighted by someone, and
Oh.
we got a claim or something like that, and then we'd have to deal with it, you know. And it would usually work out. Like it was very amicable, and we would like, you know, you're always like, fuck, we fucked up, and then you pay them and it's fine. But my point is, like, especially working at a company that is so deeply creator friendly, like that's our whole jam, right? Skybound is embedded in the comic space, and we care about creatives. I just don't want our studio to be like basically being careless about that.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
it's been really cool. I'm really stoked. I wish, dude, man, I wish you could see some of the concept art that's coming in for the game. It's from some pretty big names. I cannot say who it is. But I'm hoping that they'll get permission to share on social soon, so that I can just tell you.
Like, did you see it? Did you see it? I'll be like, yeah.
Oh, the team sends everything to me. Like they don't have to, but they're like, oh, we know Sam would like it. So I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Dude.
Should
That is
ask,
so cool.
I said sexual, but something valid. I mean, we all feel about Manny the way that I feel about Emma Stone. The way I feel about, like, I'm trying to think of who my passes are. You know, like who are the women that Margot Robbie. You know?
Definitely.
Yeah. I really love Issa Rae. I think she's gorgeous. I think you know, she's from a lot of things, but she's from like Insecure. She was in the Barbie movie as well. But she's like her
Oh,
skin
I
is,
know.
like,
Yes. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she was
That's
the
right.
voice for Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I just love her. Like she has our sense of humor, like super dry, and I find that
She's amazing.
great.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is everyone gets a pass, right? You get a little free pass, even if you're if you're gay. Let's see. And then Christian asks, how long have you been at Skybound? Only a year, dude. I was at EA for like 4 years, and then I'm a 11th year attorney. And when I saw the Skybound opportunity, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Because they were looking for someone who like knows the space, right? And they didn't hire me because I'm a gamer and an artist, but it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like it helps every single day. Like I'll put together a contract and no one has to get me up to speed. In fact, I actually often offer my own opinion about things because I know those workflows so well because I do them in my everyday life.
So cool.
Let's see. And I'm very cautious about NDA because we are recording this, but it's also it's fine. Let's see. And then so Noah has cute little testicles. Oh no, those are eyeballs. Christian says, "Bro, don't break your NDA. Haha, we're not responsible." I mean, you're gonna hear from my lawyer. So it's actually my cats. It's actually my cats. So, let's see. And then Sarah says, Sam, who are you? And said, dude, this whole combo has got me harder than Wreck-It Ralph before the big swing. This is like for me like one of the coolest things, and like hanging out with the mouth breathers like crew is like, it's if the 8-year-old version of me saw my life, I think that they would be like, yeah, it's really effing cool. And because I've never been into prestige, right? I don't care about, like, I didn't become a lawyer for prestige. Yeah, I'm not, Manny, you know me, like, I'm not that kind of person. I don't give a shit. I don't mind having access to things, access to resources. I don't mind having access to money in a capitalist society, like it helps my family, but I don't have an identity thing about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I work with people who do, no, not at my current company, but I have in the past worked with people who do think that way.
Yeah.
It's like they walk around like, oh, I'm a lawyer, so like, oh, I'm like, you know, whoop-de-doo. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, lawyers are someone, like, Rudy Giuliani's a licensed attorney. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not like it doesn't suddenly make you a good. He is. Yeah, it doesn't make you a good person necessarily, but it can be cool if you like the work, right? Like it can be a cool part of your life.
Yeah, you're like the coolest lawyer.
Yeah, well, my coworkers think so.
Yeah.
I will say this, like, a question I get a lot, and it's, I think, worth for everyone in this chat to think about is like, would I, if I had the opportunity, if I could just become a full-time artist, would I? And I think the answer would eventually be yes, right? But it is currently no, because no art job's gonna pay as well.
Yeah.
As being a lawyer, and I don't hate my job. So, and the reason why I think this is relevant for all of us is because, Manny, I know that you know this because we talk to our friends about it all the time, but like, unfortunately, because of the society we live in, like, being able to just do whatever you want right off the bat isn't a luxury that everyone has, you know?
Yeah.
And it's about having compassion for each other and like not giving into like the sellout narrative. Like, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. We're all fucked, right? Also, the world's ending soon, so everyone's just trying to make the best decision that they can, and that's it. So for me, it's like I feel very blessed. I lucked out a lot of stuff. I obviously can take credit for my hard work, but a lot of it's luck. I'm not, but I see art being the primary thing at the latter stage of my life, like maybe after I retire, maybe even earlier than that. Who knows? Let's see. Xera said, "Can I pitch my story to you when it's finished? It's okay if you say no, but what kind of author and artist would I be if I didn't try?" Yeah, I mean, and I can also, I always try to run by artists I know to the head of our editorial, our comics team. He's very polite about it, but like, it's very like, you know, it's not that he's necessarily saying no, but I you know, he already makes a lot of business decisions based on a lot of factors and people he meets. But I'll tell you, in my life, not just as a lawyer, just throughout my life, like, the seeds you plant can become trees later, you know? And I know, Manny, you probably need to hear that, is like, a lot of times you go to cons and it's just not, it doesn't work out, but then, I don't know, a year later, someone who like bought a print of yours, like, turns out that they're like starting a new game studio or something.
Yeah, right.
You know, and it's, I don't want to be Pollyanna about it. Like, it's not, you know, it can be really tough, but I do believe that there can be serendipity. Christian is in Discord.
Hey, I just had to hop on and talk to Sam because I hear so much about you, Sam, and it's pretty awesome to meet you.
Dude, sorry, it's you do have a sexy voice. Jesus Christ.
Definitely married. I'm sorry, Sam.
I don't care. He or she is lucky. She, I assume. No, I actually know. Because I know Manny's told me because I've asked him about it.
Well, that's cool. That's very flattering, I guess.
But yeah, super nice to meet you, dude. Like, I just like, it's so funny because we live on opposite ends of the world. But you know, I have met Manny and Kevin in person.
Yeah.
Yep. It was awesome.
I hope to meet you in person at some point, and I don't think that's that crazy, honestly.
Yeah, definitely possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Man, Manny, I probably have to hop on that trip with you to Lightbox.
Yeah, or I'll come out to North Carolina. And that's actually interestingly, I have friends in that area. Like,
No way.
it's a little bit wild. Well, like, do you remember, Manny? Do you remember on MT server Lily? She does that stippling kind of illustrative art. Actually, I don't know if you've met her, but she and her husband, who plays soccer there, they live in North Carolina. They're in Durham.
Oh, no way.
Oh,
yeah,
That's so
wow.
close.
And so and she's been a really important part of my life in the last half year. Just very supportive. But yeah, I have actually quite a few friends there. And then also, like, if you open it up to the East Coast, right, then it's like I can go visit my friends in Jersey and New York. I just take the train or something like that. But yeah, my point is, like, I do need to make it out to the East Coast for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
Come
that's
on,
one thing
bro.
you'll notice is that a lot of people who come from California to the East Coast, specifically North Carolina, they fall in love with it and they try to move over here.
Yeah, I fully believe that. So, like, as a native Californian, I appreciate it. Like, it's home, you know, and I think very fondly of California. But I have I'm not like one of those West Coast elite kind of people.
Yeah.
And I remember I lived in Houston for you. And Houston's a major city; it's the fourth largest city in the country. But when I moved to Texas, this is a little bit dated because Texas is really legit problematic right now. But back then it wasn't as problematic. And but I had a lot of California friends who were like talking as if I was dying. They were like, we're so sorry you have to move to Texas. I'm like, it's fine, calm down. Like, you know, like, it's fine. And I gotta say, I had a great time. And I had a great time in part because frankly, it was just different from what I was used to, you know. California is really cool, but I remember when I was working for when I was in Houston, it was for a clerkship, a federal clerkship where you work for a judge. And that was like one of the coolest years of my life. And we would travel frequently to New Orleans, which is the seat of the court, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. So I was in the Texas courthouse, but the seat of it, the major courthouse, is in New Orleans. So we would travel, take the 10 over frequently, and we would pass through Louisiana. And my co-clerk actually was from Shreveport. He was from that area, and we would pass through swampland with like crocodiles. And I was fucking obsessed. I was like, because I thought it was so romantic. And he's like, bro, I don't understand. Like, how do you like this? Like, you're from LA. Like, you grew up with the beaches. I was like, I don't think you understand. Like, you know, I understand California is really cool. Like, I get it. People travel from all over the world, but I grew up with it. So it just feels like background noise. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for me, like, the US is like so diverse. There's just like so much that's interesting, and the East Coast has this romance to it that is unmatched to me. Like, I you know, fantasize about, I don't really have a lot of family ties there, but I fantasize about like one day just living there for like 2 years, you know, somewhere on the East Coast.
Sure.
Hey, come on down. We got room.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like I would like do well there as like a gay dude with delts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would do really well in Atlanta. Actually, this is not speculation. I know because I've been to Atlanta and I did. So I was there on the grinders.
On the grind. You were on the grind, dude. That's for sure.
That is what the gays say. And how did you know? That's what we say when we talk about having gay sex. We're like, oh, so you were on the grind. That's like when I tell people things like, I'm like, oh, did you know that your name Eric in Vietnamese actually means great hero? And then they're like, I don't know if you're telling the truth. I was like, the fact that you doubt me is racist. So that's on you. Honestly, if you think about it. Oh, so in chat, let's see. Noah, our Xera says, yes, my job sucks 1,000 times. I don't care if I drew chibi for living anything but what I do now. LOL. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think we're all blessed to be able to engage in creativity in some way. I think of like many of us grew up without the internet, right? Or like at least the front end of that. And I just think of like, damn, I wouldn't have any art friends if it weren't for the internet. So
dude, seriously. Yeah, we wouldn't have met if not for the internet, man.
Yeah, I actually, no joke, like I've told you this, Manny, like in the morning I have a gratitude journal, And like several times a week, one of the things I write is like, I'm grateful for my art community online. Like it's like,
Oh yeah.
because otherwise I wouldn't have anyone to talk to about this shit. Like I think it's really cool that you have, you know, the local guys, Manny. I think that's so. I wouldn't say I'm jealous because you know I have what I have right now, but it's really fucking cool.
Yes,
I
I'm
talk as if
definitely
I don't know
grateful.
anyone in LA. Of course I do. I'm like in the heart of entertainment art, you know.
Yeah.
I do, but just know like in terms of my BFFs, like of which you are one, or like Nate, or Gordon, like we're all kind of spread across the winds.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy too, especially Gordon being in Canada.
Yeah.
It's
This is
wild.
another of our friends from Steven's workshop. He is in Vancouver area.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Was
Asian,
that-
so it's a good bet.
Was that workshop open to the world, or was it just open to Canada and I guess Americas?
It was open to the world, but because Steven's in New York, like that kind of placed some time zone limitations. But bro, we had someone in our section, Cooper, who's in Australia, who does like the worst. Because we met like in the morning to afternoon, right, Manny? And that's like midnight for Cooper. And like
Yeah.
by the time he was done in the morning, or by the time we were done, it was like sometimes 4 in the morning, and he just like made it happen. So no, it was open to everyone, but there were only so many seats. There was like 20 seats, so it was
Oh,
whoever paid and got in first.
Yeah.
And they were really successful, but he's been super busy, including with the AI stuff. So, you know, I talked to him recently. He's like, yeah, I kind of want to do it again, but I just have a lot. I was like, yeah, got you. In chat, we have Noah said, I'm just dumb enough to not give up the dream of making money with art. Noah's a himbo, you know, and we and since East Coast, West Coast, actually, you know, I disagree, but I'm not against that. I should say I don't think the West Coast is the best coast either, despite the fact that it rhymes. I think they have different things to offer. Xera says I'm perfectly okay with the idea of a solid, solid no, regardless of the likelihood of the answer being a solid no. But the seeds become trees, and adaptation is my big dream. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to take a look for sure, Xera. Noah says, Sam, the way you talk about California is the same way I feel about NC Elmwood. Jalen subscribed, by the way.
Oh, Jalen.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Sorry, I missed that. I was like switching everything over to the digital setup, so.
Oh, it popped up in chat. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you subscribe with Prime. Look at you, Jalen.
I don't know if Jalen's on here, but thanks. And then Xera says, I actually live in the East as well. It's excellent on the East Coast, stay away. Yeah, it's cool, man. You know, so one thing about the East Coast as a West Coaster is, this is really silly, but like you're closer to the heart of American history. And so what it is like, growing up in the U.S., like as a Californian, I grew up with the idea of like
Oh, you're a robot.
you go to the East Coast, the architecture is all there. Like those are like the original colonies, and so there is this kind of like you feel like the first time I went to DC was actually like as a lawyer. I was there for going to headquarters for our law firm, and I honestly expected it to be like a floating city, you know, just because of being literally 2,000 miles away. It might as well have been, right? And here's the thing, it wasn't that far off from that. Like I feel like going to DC and seeing like the Capitol building and seeing the Smithsonian, like it kind of lived up to the hype a little bit, just because the architecture is what you would expect. You know, California architecture is really cool too, but it's basically Southwestern, you know, which is kind of, I'm used to it by now. But on the East Coast, you get all those like fucking like, I don't know, like brick houses with stoops and stuff like that, like, and literal white picket fences. We don't have fences in California. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. That stuff is crazy.
Noah said Discord audio is really quiet. Interesting. Like,
Discord audio.
Noah, is it all of our audio? Like all three of us on chat right now? And then Jalen says, I bought a book, I subbed, with you ignoring my CAF demands, you're gonna have to name your first key after me now. Yeah. Jalen knows the law, I didn't realize.
Jalen, I'm gonna do it this weekend. I promise you. It's on my to-do list. I'm gonna be doing that and updating my website. So And also, thank you for buying the book. Thank you so much.
Manny, he was the one that bought it like last week, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He was like, "Hey, I bought your book," and I was like, "Oh."
I hope he got it to him safely. I packaged the crap out of that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Did it come in all right?
Yeah, that's the very important question.
It's on the same list on your cell phone, right? Yes. You should see my to-do list. It is getting bigger by the minute. But it's okay. It'll be worth it. Oh God. I hope.
Well, awesome, Jalen. I hope you enjoyed the stories that Manny and Kevin has put into and the art and everything.
Yeah.
All the hands that's touched it. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Wait, is this? Are we talking about Renowned?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The anthology.
It is be good. Something like that. It's always funny too because like, where I think you've told a lot of stories, Manny, about like you're like, oh hey, I have this comic, and people are like, oh cool, let me take a look, and then look at they're like, what the fuck? Like we just thought that you were just like, this is pretty legit. I'm like, yeah, my friend's legit.
They're legit. Oh, let me try and mess with this Discord audio real quick.
No, it's good now. It's just muffled for a second, but you can stop checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know if you can hear everybody. Jalen,
Boom.
Jalen.
I put it up more. Slightly.
Oh, but everyone else in the channel is really low. Okay. Well, probably because the Discord is like. Oh, well, sorry. No, never mind. You were addressing that. Or we just learned that Manny actually lowers the audio of his
Yeah.
friends. It's like,
How'd you
this is
guys
very
know?
awkward right
No.
now. This is super
Come on.
I prefer to listen to only the sound of myself, says Manny. Friends
Man,
are just temporary conveniences. That's what he says.
Yep, that's what I said. On the record. On the record.
Sorry, what were you saying, Christian?
I was saying, speaking on the comic thing about Manny, when I first met Manny, I saw his drawings and they were amazing, right? It was just like the first early concepts for Renown, and then like over the years, you just see him upgrade to like from level 1 to 99, and I'm like, holy
Yeah, it's crazy.
crap, dude! Like, man, if I could show the world what we drew or what he drew in the beginning, oh goodness, it's way different.
I kind of want to see, because I've only known him as a phenomenal drafts person, and indeed, in the time that I've gotten to know him, he's gotten even better.
Yeah.
But I think I told a story on this chat, but it bears repeating. One of my first interactions with Manny was it was on Steven's. It was the workshop, right? And so part of the workshop was Steven would go over all of our art, and then we looked at Manny's, and one of Steven's comments was, Manny, it must be really nice to be an excellent draftsperson. It's like it is true, like because it was that character sheet, that creature character sheet, and you were just so thoughtful about the lines, which I mean I don't need to tell people here like you're amazing at line. But I remember looking at it, I was like simultaneously very angry and very inspired. But as it turns out, I don't even really like drawing that much, so that was part of what was going on. Christian, I'm sculpting right now. I don't know if you got that earlier, but I'm sculpting.
Yeah, Sam is a sculptor.
I see all your stuff all the time. I'm kind of like, man, can't wait to have you on the team.
I mean, if you guys ever need me to like do some random like mock-up in 3D, just let me know. Cause I actually like, you know that the composition I'm working on, I did that comp like super fast. It's just. It's I do kind of more in Xera and we talked a little bit about this a few days ago, but like there is a bit of sadness of like I still have a really special place in my heart for drawing, and I still draw. Like I joke about how I don't draw, but I still draw. But sculpting feels better in my hands. Like it just feels. I think the way that it taps into a certain part of my brain just feels more natural. So let me make that a bit more concrete. Like it turns out I actually do think in form, But what I think sometimes people forget is 2D is not really form. 2D is the illusion of form in
Yeah.
2D, right? Which is a really cool, beautiful thing unto itself. And so I think it's a mistake to be like, oh, 2D is like, draw like a sculptor. And it's like, but it isn't sculpting, right? Because fundamentally the decisions you're making when you make marks is it still has to look good as shape design. It still has to look good as a 2D piece, right? Which actually makes me, because I have some 2D grounding, it makes me a better sculptor, so that helps as well. But I never was able to get into that magic trick thing. It might be the autism. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I have that kind of autism where I'm overly literal. But with form, I get all that stuff for free, right? I don't need to guess the shape design because I just do it. I just make the form, and it just feels more natural to me. But the big takeaway from this is, everything's available, right? Like we don't have to feel bad. We don't feel like we have to overcommit to one thing over another. Just if we have stories to tell, there are so many ways to tell stories. So just find something that works for you and make it happen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jalen says, still really low, much better, but they're still on the softer side. Cool, can hear them now. Let's go. Noah said, I remember when I found out that Manny draws comics, I was like, finally someone else who gets me. That's hot.
That's hard.
So I'm, for those in chat who don't know, I'm like famously dehydrated. So like, I just ruled 34 that super fast in my head.
I'm super
Like, imagine,
dehydrated.
Noah's drawing a comic at a cafe, and it's only the two of them, and then Manny walks in and also draws, and then Noah's like face goes flush, and is like, oh, someone who knows me. And then there's a gay sex after that. Jalen says let's see. Jalen says, I'm pretty sure while they were really low, as in the voices. Everyone in Discord was calling me a sucker for sub. Well, it says sucked, but I think sucker for subbing and buying the book. LOL. Oh, yeah, sorry, he did correct, sucker. We didn't say it in those words, Let me just say, like, I just plausible deniability. We use different words. Xera says, I just bought a copy of the anthology as thanks for everything between yesterday and today. You guys inspired me.
Oh, nice.
Astronomically, keep
That's
being
sick.
rad. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Code. Appreciate it.
First off, Jalen, for the record, we appreciate you.
On the record.
And thanks, Codex Terra. That's awesome. Man.
Yeah, this is good.
Well,
This is
keep
good.
following us because we got a cool game that's gonna be relaunched.
Yeah,
And we got a lot of cool Manny art coming on all those cards. So
that's
that'd
right.
be cool.
Whole bunch of art. Whole bunch of art on those cards.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All the art.
All right, guys. I actually got to go, but have a good night. It was nice meeting you, Sam. Hopefully, I can join you guys earlier so we can go through every conversation.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Christian, you're the best. Talk to you soon.
No,
bruh.
you're the best. All right.
No, it's silly. I said it first. I win.
All right, night chat. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, see you, Christian.
Christian's so cool.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's the one handling the books.
I'd say he's a keeper, bro. He's
Yeah.
a keeper.
Yeah, he's a keeper. Yeah. You know.
By the way, like I'm sculpting the face right now, and it is cool how like I'm seeing a lot of just the lessons even from drawing are coming in. A big thing is thinking about planes. I don't mean airplanes. I mean the
What?
planes of the face.
Dude, I always think about airplanes when I
Dude.
draw, man.
That would be so hilarious. That would be so hilarious if, like, let's say that you're like an international artist who like English is like your third language, and you come to the U.S. take a workshop, and the teacher keeps referring to planes, and the whole time you're like, why are they talking about airplanes? Like, I
Why
don't
are they
understand.
talking about airplanes? I don't get this class.
I don't. What? Am I in the wrong class? Jalen says Manny has quote, "We appreciate Jalen," written on the same list as his comic art fans. Promise. LOL.
All right.
Xera says, not a problem. I didn't realize you had it for sale until it was mentioned, but I'm stoked to read it. And Christian, a different version of Christian, says, just know every time I open that anthology, I fall in love with Manny and Kevin. I need to get, actually, legit BRB. I think I'm gonna wind down and reread it. I'm gonna go get my copy. It's in my bookshelf. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, oh, oh. I don't like this mechanical pencil. I don't like the way that looks. Damn it. Ah. How about this one? Feels the same. I don't like the way this tablet feels. That's... Yep.
Wait, what happened?
I just don't like my Huion anymore. I've been using my iPad way too much.
You're on the canvas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, say more because it may validate my decision to focus on my iPad and my Intuos. But like, what do you not like about it?
It is... I mean, so first off, this is a very old canvas. So
Yeah.
there is that. But just the sensitivity and everything, and I guess the registration, it doesn't... It kind of feels almost slightly delayed versus on the iPad where it's just like immediate, and then also like drawing with the side of the pencil and it makes that thick stroke, you know, as if you were working with a real pencil and you would make that thick line, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Versus this one, I have to just mess with the brush thickness and stuff, which, you know, it's not a super big deal, but it's just like it's not super intuitive drawing with this thing, and it's also this stylus blows.
Yeah. I mean, do you still like working on your computer though with a pen display?
Yeah, I still like it. I wish it was
A better pen display.
Yeah. Like I said, I've spoiled myself by messing with that iPad every day.
It's iPad has obviously challenges. Like one thing is like I do actually like my software setup and my keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah.
I'm actually sketching a lot more in Clip because I just set up the hotkeys or the key bindings to work for me. But it's iPad just hardware-wise, the experience of drawing on it pretty phenomenal. That's like when I did the inking for a few of my last pieces, like I had to do it on iPad. I just did not want to do that on my Canvas or my Inspiroid. When we do Lightbox this fall, one thing I didn't really do last year, but I'd like to do is go to the Wacom booth because they have all their tablets set up. I've never actually played with Cintiq, and I'm not sure I would ever buy one, but like, because at this point I don't think I actually like pen displays for what I do. Sculpting is way easier with a pen tablet. But I'd like to try them out because I gotta tell you, the Intuos is pretty cool. I don't know that it's $200 or $300 cool, but it's... The surface feels like it's paper-like, so it feels really good. And then the other thing is that the stylus is solid. It's really, really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. This one keeps going in and out. It's like I can feel the plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't like it.
So the parallax I didn't mind because I have the newer canvas, as you might recall. I still have it, but I haven't. It says a lot that I haven't unpacked it since I moved into this house. But I also remember that in and out. I didn't like that.
It's horrible.
And
so cheap.
Also, if I remember, the color was not great.
Yeah, the color is it's kind of gross. You definitely need like to mess with the settings on.
Yeah. I asked Nate about it. He's like, yeah, no, it's just like it's never. That's like you have to like move it to your second monitor to check the color.
Yep.
I've heard so. Noah. Well, actually, sorry. Let me go back. Xera says, no, I already said that. Christian says, Manny, nothing beats when we saw John Wick at Heroes Con. Yeah.
Okay, story time real quick.
Yes, please.
So, I was just like, we were standing there, Christian and I were standing next to each other, and then he's like, dude, I see John Wick. I was like, what? I was like, there's no way Keanu Reeves is in North Carolina right now. Okay. And and then he points to him, and he's just this dude that has the same exact hairstyle as Keanu Reeves in the John Wick films, and then he turns around, and it's not at all John Wick. It's not at all Keanu Reeves. He just has like the same facial hair and the hairstyle. And Christian's like, it's John Wick. It's John Wick.
I mean, no, I thought where you were going with this was that it was just like like a cosplayer, but I just love that it's someone that just like casually happened to look like him.
Yes, just
Um,
casually.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would not put it past Keanu to just show up to a random con, like a tiny small town con. I would not put that past him for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, by the way, okay, so I'm dumb. Actually, the the anthology is actually. I kept thinking I understood what the anthology was. Oh, Christian says I'll send you the pic, Sam. Haha. Anyways, going to bed. But the
See.
anthology is bigger than the comic, the single comic I got, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll see you,
Okay,
Christian. See you.
so
But
I'm
yeah, it's a
gonna-
different book.
I'm gonna buy the anthology, so I guess it's Christian getting the order, so you should be seeing one come in from me. So I'm
Yep.
gonna order it right now.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
not-
a
not for you guys,
64-page book.
For me, this is not an active charity. So I get cool shit. Xera says, by the way, I have an Intuos Pro and I stopped using it because of my iPad, but I'm already looking at a couple of Stream tablets as a replacement. Yeah, and I think that's cool. Let us know if you have any questions about it, because like I've done a lot of research, but of course, as I said earlier, I have some limitations because I haven't played with a Cintiq. But I love my iPad. I do.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
I got the paper feel, got that Apple Pencil 2 or second generation, whatever it is. But dude,
Well,
it's
bro, and you remember the Sketchboard Pro, that like stand that goes in?
Oh,
that
yeah.
played with? I got
Yeah.
that, and it's dude, it is baller.
yeah.
Because because it actually feels like it gives you more space, because now I rest my hand not on the screen but on the
Oh.
the thing, the sketchboard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Extra, I don't know if you know what we're talking about Sketchboard Pro, but I'd heard about them before, but they don't have like, this is the same thing with Wacom, is that there's no like retail shop you can go into and try these out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I have like I want to go. I wish I could go to like the Apple Store and just try out the device. That was a huge reason why I got the iPad for the first time, because I could actually play with it at the Apple Store. I was like, I love this. This feels great. So but they had the Sketchboard Pro, but they were out of stock, as you might remember, Manny. But we were able to try it out, so I ordered it, and it's a key. It kind of got me through like the last half year, like. Because
Oh wow.
when I was traveling, before I was able to move into the family's house after my dad passed, I was driving like an hour and a half between my apartment in West LA to the valley,
Dang.
and I was able to finish that Hermes piece because all I had was my iPad, a charger, and the Sketchboard Pro, and I just set up like at the kitchen table and just finished it there.
Wow. Dang, dude. That's crazy.
That's the other thing about the iPad is like how portable it is.
Exactly. I mean, I bring that to work every day. So, I mean,
Mm.
some days I don't work on it, but you know, most days I'm usually in.
Let's see. Xera says, well, Noah said good night to Christian. Xera says, wait, do you guys suggest the Apple Pen 2nd gen over the first? Because I've been thinking about that too. I mean, I don't want to speak because it is more expensive, but it's unequivocal yes for me if
Yeah.
I can afford it.
It's
the biggest-
even the charging port, like this
Yeah.
first generation is awful design that you have to plug that in like a popsicle at the very bottom of the iPad to charge it.
Yep.
But the second
Yep.
generation, it's just magnetic, just boop on the side
Yeah.
and it's charging.
So Xera, so what I do is like well, you know, if I'm drawing or I'm painting and like while I'm taking a break or something like that, I'll just like click it on the side so it keeps charging.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
I don't know that that's like, I mean, but that by itself is like worth the $30 extra.
Yeah.
I think at this point there's literally no reason to, if one had to choose. But the problem is, not the problem, but like, since you already have one, it's like I can't really decide for you whether it's worth it, but it feels worth it to me.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody were to ask, like, should I, like, I have, you know, the iPad Pro from 2020, should I get, like, the 2023 one? That's, like, I don't know if that's worth it. Like, dude, I don't think that
Yeah.
that jump is important enough, and to make the jump. I do have the latest one because I'm a fancy lawyer, and it has, I gave my other ones to my family, and they use it a lot. But it has the M2 chip. It has that hover feature. Have you guys seen demos of that?
The hover feature, no.
Yeah. So, bro, like you can who has a demo? Brad Colbo, that guy has a really good demo of this on his YouTube channel. Let me see if I can find it. But basically, like while the Apple Pencil is hovering like about within an inch off the screen, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do. One is if you do that and you pinch your fingers on the screen with your other hand, it changes the brush size. Huge game changer for me. Yeah, right. Because it does break flow to have to move over if you're painting specifically. Drawing, not a huge deal, but painting, you have to change your brush size all the time, and now you just do it organically. It's a little bit fickle because just like on iPad in general, like sometimes you'll accidentally switch over to eraser, but you get used to it pretty fast. There's other things too where you can actually see the brush color and size before you lay down the mark, and that's really helpful as well.
Dang, dude. Okay.
Yes. So those I would say were worth it for me, but if somebody had a pretty decent iPad, I wouldn't say that it was like necessary to jump up. But I know some painters who are like, oh yeah, like I have no choice but to get the new iPad. It is expensive though. Jalen says, I'm talentless, so I depend on my PayPal and massive debt to afford me purchasing actual artists' original works. I mean, that's a huge reason why I'm a lawyer. So I just patronize real artists. I'm just a bullshitter who hangs out with them. Noah says, to be honest, the main reason I went with a Cintiq instead of an iPad was because I knew I liked doing my drawing at home. I'll take a sketchbook out with me, but that's it. That's legit. So I mentioned portability, but here's the thing. I'm a homebody. And you've seen photos of my setup at home, but like,
yeah, it's pretty sick.
I like my spaceship. Yeah, so I like that vibe. If I had to, I would draw on a napkin, honestly. But I did have a recent situation with the going back and forth between the house and an apartment where like that I was really grateful that the iPad was portable. But yes, to Noah's point, for most of my life I don't really leave. I don't really do art outside. So, and last thing Xera said, oh my god, it's terrible to charge. Okay, I'm sold. I was mostly worried about the difference in DPI, if there was any serious difference. I don't think there is. I had the first generation as well. It's the chargey thing, I think, is the big difference.
Oh yeah, that was.
Well, sorry, I should take that back. I do think that there's a difference in DPI, but I don't think it's noticeable for most of our purposes.
Yeah.
I just ordered the anthology. Yeah.
Sick. Thanks.
You're the one who put it out. I should thank you.
Well, you bought it.
I just got you maybe a cup of coffee. I don't know.
Yep. Works for me.
A banh mi, maybe.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee for me.
Bro. I don't know if you're joking or whatever, but I love Dunkin'.
I'm not kidding, actually. I mean, I probably won't get one tomorrow, but
Kara says, I actually just disciplined myself to get really good with sensitivity shifting. I barely touched the pen size. That's what she said. Sorry, I added that. That's what she said. And I use a Bluetooth keyboard and just switch back and forth between transparent and color/black, so I never touch the eraser either. Yeah, I feel like every 3 months I change my mind on the eraser thing because like when I'm in flow and it is working, it is helpful. One thing I love about Clip or any of the software is I actually use the transparency feature a lot because I like to erase and paint with the same brush. It just feels more intuitive for me.
Yep.
So Procreate doesn't have that, which is a little bit annoying.
Oh, weird.
But yeah. But I don't think that it's important enough for them to include it anytime soon. But it's like it is something that I kind of miss. And yeah. But, oh, 1 second.
Yep.
BRB.
Yes, sir. Serious question, do you like the pumpkin spice latte at Dunkin'? Because every time I've had it, it was crap. I've never tried the pumpkin spice latte. I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy. It might be crazy to say. I'll have like one pumpkin spice drink. And I'm like, alright, I've had my fill. But I think every time I've had a pumpkin spice latte thing, it's been from like a mom and pop shop or Starbucks. I feel like. I've never had it at Dunkin' though. I do. So my Dunkin' go-to is the original iced coffee with the 2 liquid sugars. Okay, 2 squirts of that, 2 squirts of the almond,
Squirts.
2
Squirts?
squirts of the almond. Is it vanilla almond or I can't remember what the flavor's called. It's something almond. No, there's almond in it. And then there's butter pecan. I think, right? Yeah,
Are we still
pecan.
talking about Dunkin'?
Yeah, the flavor shots that I put in my coffee. And then
Damn.
sometimes I'll get an espresso. Espresso shots in there. Sometimes.
And this is hot coffee?
Iced coffee. During the
Oh.
summertime, it's iced coffee time.
I didn't know that straight guys drink iced coffee.
Oh, this guy, this wannabe straight guy does.
No, my brother definitely is very straight and drinks iced coffee. It's just a running joke that like gay guys drink iced coffee.
Oh, really?
Even if it's like really cold out, well, it's still like ice.
Dude, it's so good.
do.
It's so good. I get it. I love it too. I just hate hot coffee on a summer day, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't do it.
Xterra says, I love Procreate, but CSP has things I just can't live without at this point. I only use Procreate for logo design now. It's just a simpler interface for simpler works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you guys. Do you know if CSP has a magnetic lasso tool? I don't think it does, right?
A magnetic lasso tool?
Yeah, like on Photoshop. No.
Like the little lasso tool? Or just the...
Yeah, but it's the magnetic kind where it kind of like automatically goes across a line. Yeah, it's actually it's really nice for creating masks, and I remember using it in Photoshop. And what's weird is Krita has it. so now I'm like, should I be using Krita? But like that's the thing is like I think that all the software will have like each software will have 1 or 2 things that the other ones don't. And it's just like you just gotta find the thing that works for you. Also, like Krita is free, right? So there's no reason for me to just not have both on my. So if I need to use that as part of my workflow, and they all take a PSD. I just like drop it over and pull it back if I need to. I'm trying to honestly, in general, break out of the idea that like I need a single tool for everything. I do like that I have single tools that are the primary focus of what I do.
Uh-huh.
But like it's all like assuming you already have it, like you just use whatever works, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I just use like a few brushes on Clip Studio, which is primarily the thick gouache brush, I think.
Yeah.
And the dry
really
gouache.
good.
Huh? What was
I
it?
said that one's really good.
Oh yeah. It's just, it feels so nice.
Just like you.
Hey.
Heyo. Odin's here.
Hey.
Xera says, I like pumpkin spice. I guess it depends on who makes it when I get.
Yeah. Yeah, I
know
get
what?
that.
This coffee is all. I guess now. Odin says Illustrator versus Photoshop. What?
Photoshop.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if I'm doing if I'm doing vector stuff, that's what I use Illustrator for, right?
Yeah, but I design it in Photoshop and then I just image trace it in Illustrator.
That's actually pretty valid.
I hate Illustrator so much. It's like, hey, let's have all the same tools, but all the shortcuts are different because you suck. And I'm like, dude, what? Why'd you do that?
Illustrator, I understand its purpose. I actually think that personally that it is, for what it intends to do, it's better software than Photoshop is. But
Yeah.
I hate using it.
Yep,
Like I hate
exactly.
I hate the act of using it. And I have friends who are graphic designers. They like it, but you know they're probably mentally not all there, and that's fine. And we need people like that, you know. It's okay. It's okay to be sociopathic. I love Bezier curves. Oh, I love like the little pen tool, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then you block this out. It's like, oh my god. Like I'll do that sometimes if it's called for, but I don't like. I have friends who are like, oh yeah, it's my favorite thing, and I'm like, okay, it's okay that you're mentally ill. That's
It's fine. You can say it.
Respect. Everyone is welcome in the house of the Lord. Even lepers and mentally unwell people.
Oh.
Xera says it doesn't, but it has the shrink select lasso. Oh, this is in response to my question about magnetic lasso. But it
Oh.
has a shrink select lasso and it's close enough, but not quite smoking a cigar. Oh, but that sounds like it. That sounds like it might work for me though. Let me look at it. Shrink select lasso.
Man.
Because I actually have a pretty steady hand, so sometimes I will just like actually just use the standard lasso tool and trace out a mask. And then I like erase or brush in or out to adjust a little bit. But this looks like I'm looking at the clip page for it. This looks pretty close actually. So is the idea that you basically trace like a shape around the area, and then you use the shrink lasso and it just basically collapses into. It's kind of like it's kind of like the magic wand a little bit.
I think so. Oh.
Jalen says, also call the tools the same names, but then they do entirely different things on each program. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I hate it.
I will say one friend who is reliable on all the softwares is Liquify. I think that it's pretty consistent on all the software now.
Really?
Yeah, like on Krita has it. Now Clip, as you know, Clip 2.0, I finally have that. Feels good.
Oh yeah.
And it's great on Procreate. Yeah, I think that's basically the same. Liquify is like I think no longer negotiable for a lot of people who do art, just because it gives you kind of what sculpting gives you, right? Is like the ability to slightly adjust things and push and pull it into space.
Yeah, it's so good.
I kind of avoided Liquify for the longest time because I felt like it was cheating. But then when I realized that my favorite professional artists use it all the time, I was like, yeah, I gotta get over that.
Yeah,
And then
dude.
when I also realized that it's a feature, not a bug. Like it is a way to draw. It's to kind of adjust things into place so you don't have to worry about getting it right the first time.
Yeah. I mean, whatever helps you get there faster, you know.
Yeah. Doing that whole like you saw my composite that I'm doing for this one painting, like, and I photo bashed it, right?
Yeah.
A younger version of me would have been like, that's cheating. It's like, I mean, it's not like I'm like, it would be if I were to peddle that off as my own, because I would be infringing copyright, because I used that one artist's work to put it together. But like, the point of it was to just get the idea down, and that was the quickest way of getting it. Just to photo bash and get those ideas in, right? There's no reason to like just to do things the hard way just to say that you did it the hard way I think is dumb, personally.
Yeah. I agree. I've been thinking about that recently too, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use the perspective tool in Clip Studio instead of ruling everything out.
Didn't realize you were a cheaty McCheatstein.
Yeah,
but,
I know. Because I also just like finally figured out how to use it, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome.
It's pretty cool. There's this really hot guy that I follow. He actually follows me on IG. His name's Ed Wojcik. Do you know the site How to Draw Comics?
No.
Like Dave Finch has a few lessons on there. HowToDrawComics.net. It's kind of like it's not really active anymore, but the lessons on there are still really good. Let me put it in chat.
I know Daniel Warren Johnson did a lesson on Proco's website recently.
He did, yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I need to wait, do I need that? Can I afford this?
We love DWJ. But yeah, there's this one artist that I found through HowToDrawComics.net. His name's Ed Wojcik, and he's a bodybuilder. He's like jacked. He's so hot. He's in Canada, I think. But I got distracted by my own thirst. I forget why I brought him up. What were we talking about? About tools. I actually got like a really pretty cheap video of his where he teaches how to use the 3D model and perspective tools in Clip.
Yeah.
And I had never seen someone just explain it, and I was like, man, these are really useful. Obviously not as relevant to me anymore since I do straight 3D now, so I don't need those tools. But like, again, like why do we avoid them? Just and there are good answers to that question, but if the answer is like, well, because it's cheating otherwise, I'm like, okay, what art council says that, right? Like, do you have some kind of like, is it some dick measuring contest where you're like, well, I spent 150 hours, pure pencil. It's like, whatever, like,
Dude, the
I get,
masters would cheat back in the day, man. They
yeah,
would they would use like the grid tools, they would use all tools, whatever they could,
yeah,
like to get it
yeah,
done faster. So
bingo.
I think it's okay.
It's really interesting to say that because like I've talked to a lot of people about how, um, I find that there's a lot less toxicity in 3D, and a lot
Interesting.
more in like drawing and painting. And it's specifically because something about drawing and painting, we like liken ourselves as part of some grand lineage going to the old masters. But if you actually talk to people about what they think the old masters did, you realize that they have a pretty crude understanding of it. But
Yeah.
what's interesting is like 3D is part of the same lineage, right? It's like sculpting and modeling. You think those artists, like, we know that like they sculpted and modeled, but they also built maquettes and stuff for their paintings, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It-
Yeah.
yeah. James Gurney uses maquettes all the time, and I think
Oh
that
yeah.
if he like
So
felt like he wanted to learn 3D software, he probably does actually know how to use 3D software. But like, if he wanted it to be a part of workflow, I don't think that he'd be like, well, it's not legit. He would just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna use it. And I love like the Dinotopia stuff because you get the sense of just someone who is curious to solve these creative problems. Like, hey, like what would a dinosaur look like, if it had these features? Well, let me just quickly do a clay sculpt of that.
yeah.
And meanwhile, a bunch of young artists, we're sitting here, we're like, that's not the rules. It's like, who cares? Like, just
No
whatever
one
works.
gives a shit. Just make the picture.
Just make the damn picture, Jesus.
Uh, just do it.
Oh, hey, Rex is here.
Rex.
Uh, do you know Rex?
They joined the chat when you were on it last time, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. That's
Or a few
right.
times,
I
maybe a
forget. I
few
feel like
streams
Rex
ago.
and I know each other through multiple avenues too. But yes, we did meet here. But hello and welcome. Noah says, "Do it because you like it, or it gets the job done, not just to brag about how you suffered." Effing
Yes.
man, put that
Yes.
on a freaking plaque.
Yeah, print that out.
Um,
Put that on a
yeah.
shirt. Let's do this.
It's so sad, Noah. To that point is like I actually I suffered a lot. Like I suffered because I gave in to a lot of these narratives, but I don't think I wanted to suffer. I just felt like that was the expectation, was that we had to as artists, and I'm just kind of over that now. Yeah, just make cool shit, man. That's what's
Yeah.
going on. Just make cool shit.
Oh, Endless Wanderer. Hey, just wanted to say I love your art, man. Lots of love to your comic, man. Hey, I appreciate it, Endless Wanderer. I appreciate it. Oh, did you? Yeah, you followed a while ago. I don't know if I said thank you. So thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for hanging out and everything. Super cool.
Yeah, you attract cool people here,
I hope
Manny
so. I hope so.
Tavares. Xera says, I always see artists claiming something's cheating when they did things the hard way instead of the easier way. It's something that I had to get over when I was using 3D models for referencing in the beginning. Yeah. And let me be clear, that can be cheating depending on the objective you're trying to solve for, right? Typically for educational purposes, you do want to start from scratch for almost anything. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to learn how to sculpt a rhino, so you buy a rhino asset, like that obviously defeats the purpose.
Yeah, and they're like, look, I did it.
um,
And it's like, yeah, but you didn't sculpt that.
yeah, but if it's like and we've talked about this many times before, but like in production workflows, they don't give a shit,
Yeah.
right? It's like you use whatever, you use base meshes all the time. Like you just get the job done. Like I decided kind of at the last minute with this painting I'm working on to have a unicorn, right? I ain't sculpting that from scratch. I'm getting a horse mesh, and then I'm just gonna add a horn to it, add wings. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Add the
But yeah, I
mesh.
think a younger version of me, and I mean like not that much younger. I mean like even from a few years ago, would have been like, well, that's cheating, and it's like, no, who cares, Sam?
What's happening?
Gets the job done. Gets the job done. I'm really happy. I actually, I'm really happy with the state of my face sculpt tonight. I am going to leave in like half an hour because I have to
Oh, it's all
work
good.
out tomorrow, because if I don't, then no one's going to love me.
I know it's gonna love me. Yeah, I'll probably get off here in a little bit since it is 12 o'clock, and I am not
Right.
tired.
You live in the future. You
Yeah,
live in the
so that's not good. I'm gonna have to wake up and be tired tomorrow, but that's fine. I think it's because I drank a lot of caffeine today, so
same.
like a
Same, same, same.
lot.
I got you. I got you. Let's see in chat. Endless Wanderers said, oh, same thing. Oh, Noah says, I want royalties if you print it out. On his quote. I really deeply respect that, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you print it out. How about that?
But I mean, asking for royalties is like, yeah. Artists asking to be compensated. That's my jam. That's my kink.
That's my kink. That's right.
This is a very bad, random comment. This is a very silly thing to say. That's probably pretty obvious, but I'm gonna say is like, hair really makes a difference for a figure. Like,
Oh, dude,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's amazing. There's a few things. Eyes and hair is like are the key things that could completely just change how something looks. It's really uncanny. Cool. So I see this character. I realize that I'm
Oh,
not
where's my music?
exaggerating the cheekbones enough, and I'm going to change that right now. There's nothing you can do about it, honestly.
How dare you?
Well, I just did. I just dared.
Mm.
It doesn't answer your question. I don't know how, but I sure did. So. And Codex Terra says, yeah, for sure. I'm talking more in terms of trying to find a dynamic perspective and never finding it, so I'd use the CSP 3D model to create the pose myself, then referencing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like because I have 3D, I use 3D to pose figures all the time. But funny enough, like to give me ideas on interesting poses, I went to old 2D reference packs I had, because a lot of those. So here's the thing. I used to get all these reference packs thinking that it would teach me things like anatomy and stuff, or it would solve problems for me, and they have it to a certain degree. A really underrated value of reference packs is that a lot of those packs, the really, really good ones, they're not just about like, here's a figure in this perspective. It's like, they're interesting poses. Like, they're just a good way to think about interesting ways for human beings to move. And it's something that I'm still trying to like studying myself. And so, yeah, the pose I chose for this painting came from like, it's Graffiti Studio, if you guys know those folks. They do really, really cool reference packs. I'm gonna plug them.
Oh, plug him in.
No, plug them.
Plug him.
Oh no, my computer's being stally. This happens sometimes. But I'm like, I can still. Oh, okay, I'm good. But yeah, it's like if you get these poses, like these like epic poses, right? And you're like, oh right, like if you twist the pelvis this way a bit, it gives this sense of like epicness, you know, things like that. But then I'll use 3D to help me solve the problems within. Like once I've made decisions around that, that's like, okay, what would the figure look like in that pose from this camera angle? That's where 3D comes in for me.
There it is. Graffiti.
Yeah, it says, talk to help me convince anyone.
How dare you?
I as a John Wick stan, I'm just gonna stay quiet because I don't want to offend anyone. Like I don't want Jalen to know that he's just wrong. You know, like I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to hurt his feelings. So
I don't want to hurt his feelings about how very wrong he is.
You're talking to a guy that's doing a John Wick fan comic.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Oh, okay, I see. Noah's on Jalen's side now. I get it. Alright.
Damn, I didn't realize tonight was the night of betrayal, but
Betrayal! I'll remember this. It's like the you know those bits in like Fallout when you have a companion or something and you do something bad and they're like, Manny will remember that.
Bro, you playing New Vegas made me kind of want to go back and play 4.
Dude,
I
I've been playing New Vegas like when I was playing it and then it kept crashing on me. I was like, I kind of just want to play Fallout 4. But
yeah. I, I'm at this place in my life. Maybe I've always been in this place where I'm just like, I know there's a lot of value in trying new things, playing new games, but like sometimes you just want to go back to something you know.
yep. Like I went back to since Fallout New Vegas has been crashing a lot on me, I started playing Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain again
Let's go.
on my
Yeah.
PC because I've just been kind of wanting a stealth game anyway. And that's like the best stealth game, the best like modern stealth game there is right now. I love that game. It's so good. So freaking good.
I will say that despite what I just said, I am playing a new game. I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, as you know, and it is pretty cool. I got to the point in the game where like the story got interesting, but also like the combat got more complex, and then I find the combat very rewarding now because of that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, so it's been really cool. It still is very much a Final Fantasy game, so have had some people who are like, should I play it? And they're like, I don't really like the other Final Fantasy games. I was like, I'm not sure you'll like this one. It's basically you have to like camp, meaning that like some of the battles are so ridiculously over the top, like it's something out of an anime. But like if you like that, which I do, then it's great. But if you don't, it's gonna be like so effing cheesy and kind of cringe. So
Dude, kind of cringe.
yeah, so you still got it. I actually think this might be one of the best Final Fantasy games ever. But again, you still have to like Final Fantasy games to like this game.
Yeah, I heard the combat's really cool though. Like my buddy's been playing it.
It's clear that they like figured it out from prior games, because it's clearly based on similar combat in other Final Fantasy games. It's just better. It's just cleaner.
Sick.
I think I mentioned to you one cool thing is you can reset your skill tree infinitely. You can just do it at any time. So it kind of allows for a lot more versatile choices in the gameplay.
Oh.
Like
Just change up your playstyle like immediately.
Exactly. Yeah, depending on like what region you're in, it's like okay, you're gonna focus more on a certain element, for example.
Yeah. That's cool.
Let's see.
Because the demo is pretty substantial too, isn't it? Like I've heard that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah, I'm like pretty far into the game, and there's still so much more game left.
That's awesome. That's like Red Dead, dude. Holy smokes. Red Dead is it's just like a game that keeps on going, and it's like, I love this game.
Yeah. Honestly, a little too much for me. Like,
dude, no, I couldn't get enough. I was like, dude, it's not done? Oh, man.
I respect that, but it was like, well, I should say I really liked it. I still have it, but I had just come off of Breath of the Wild, and I think I was super fatigued on open world games.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, one nice. Actually, now that you mention it, I kind of want to go back to the game. But the thing about Final Fantasy 16 is that although it does have a lot, and it seems like the story is really deep, it's a pretty linear game. So it is an open world. It's one of those like quasi open world ones where there's like certain regions where you can explore a bit.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty linear game, and so in that respect, it's like. But I like that because I get a little bit of the taste of exploration, but then I can kind of just fall back onto the default story, and that's just like less stressful for me these days, especially after a long day of being a lawyer, lawyer stuff.
Lawyer stuff.
All right, I think I'm at the stage with sculpting where like I'm just being finicky with it, and I probably need to move on.
Oh yeah.
Odin asked, wonder how many millions John Wick made.
A lot.
Oh, and Noah earlier said that he's neutral. Xero said, I got back to WoW every time I get sick of a game I'm playing, Remnant 2 in parenthesis. Rex says, I saw a video of Stanley when he was younger. He looked like a different person without the mustache and glasses.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
a cutie.
He was. It's like he reversed his aging almost once he put on that toupee, or the wig or whatever, and then he found his brand of Stanley, and he was like, "Hey there, fellas, Excelsior!" And then that's came the showman that we know.
The guy, I love that guy.
Team Fortress 2 is my comfort game. Interesting.
For a minute, Overwatch was mine. But I'm one of those people who kind of jumped ship eventually because
The-
it just got
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What'd you say?
Overwatch. Yeah, that was my
Oh.
comfort game for the longest time. Like I had been playing that game from the first beta. Honestly, I was part of that crew, and just like a lot of players, I just got over it at some point.
Yeah.
I just got over the game. And it's also I got over just Blizzard as a company. Like
Yeah.
it's just amazing to me. Like there was a lot of love for that company for the longest time, and then
And
with
then
all
just
the allegations
down.
that came out, and then just their way they handled Overwatch is just ended up being like I just don't really care anymore.
Yeah. Didn't like the main guy that helped make Overwatch leave because of all the changes that they're wanting to do as a company?
Yeah, I may never
what I've
really
heard.
know. We may never really know why he left, but yeah, he did leave. You're thinking Jeff Kaplan. He's
Okay,
one of the head producer, I think, who was like really loved by fans.
Yep. And then he was
Including
like,
Benny.
"Nope. Peaced
Yeah.
out."
I actually don't know where he went.
John Wick can die. Steven Seagal doesn't. What? John Wick only made as much money as Manny and his friends paid for their movie tickets. I'm positive no one else has ever heard of this movie. As they're making the 5th one and a show. Yeah, no one's ever heard of John Wick. There's no other game where you can fly around the map and smack people with a shovel and insta-kill them.
Valid.
Fallout. You can do anything in Fallout.
Fallout has a really special place in my heart because it was one of these games that I had taken a huge break from video games because of like law school and stuff, and when I came back, like Fallout had been out for a few years, but I didn't play it. Right? I hadn't played it. So when I finally found time, I was really stressed out with like being a lawyer the first few years, and it was Fallout and Dragon Age Inquisition, and those two games kind of
Oh,
got
wow.
me back into games. And Fallout, I just like had not played a game like that in a while, and I was immediately like taken by the story. And I remember like the first part where you like go back to your town, and
Yeah.
you find the robot butler guy.
Yeah.
Blew my mind away. Like it was just like I think just the whole thing felt very well. For one, the graphics are pretty good. Like I actually think they've aged pretty well. But the other thing too is like it felt like it had that kind of creepiness to it that I had never really felt in a game. Because like New Vegas I had played a while ago, but it didn't have that like something about the way they did the graphics and the gameplay in 4 feels
Uh-huh.
really creepy, you know?
It's like Uncanny Valley kind of thing, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and not so much in terms of what people look like, but like you're walking around and like this town looks so realistic, right?
Dude,
But it's
dude,
just-
okay.
Yeah, it's just quiet.
So
Yeah.
I'm from Massachusetts, right? And
Oh, yeah.
playing that game, it's set in Massachusetts, and they literally got the feel of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Like there's towns, like there's things in Boston and stuff that are there, that are in the game, and it's
Yeah.
insane. It's incredible.
I don't know Boston, but I believe you. Like, because even as a non-Bostonian playing the game, it felt like a real town, you know?
Dude, yes. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. It's so
By the
good.
way, in
And-
case anyone's wondering, as a native Angelino, GTA 5 is that for us.
dude, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because I actually know like that the very first scene with the chase, like that turn that is literally there. That's at PCH. So like that's a real
That's-
thing.
That's awesome.
And I would grow like I actually recently lived very close to there. So yeah, so it's like yeah, that's real. It really feels like LA. In fact, playing that game because I played it when I'd already moved away from LA, and playing the game actually kind of made me nostalgic for LA.
Wow.
That kind of sense of you're in a major city, but you're like there's these long stretches where you don't see anyone. That's a
Yeah.
very LA thing.
That's so cool.
Let's see. Rex says Steven Seagal's extras fake dramatic death without him touching them.
Dude, they're so funny when everyone's running up to him and he's just like smack, smack, and then they're like flipping around. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Codex Sarah is leaving us for the night. Says, you guys were awesome. Thanks for the laughs and knowledge tonight. Can't wait till you stream again. I'm gonna call it a night. Good luck to you guys with your work tonight. I'll catch you in the next one. I'll be present in the Discord as well. Good night.
Yeah,
Night,
good night.
brother. Yeah,
see
I think
ya.
we're about to call it quits.
Yeah.
We're about to call it pretty soon.
Yeah, I need to call it quits and try and find a way to fall asleep. So.
But I think I don't know, I know you can't see what I'm working on, but I made pretty good progress on, focusing on the face, because the face really matters for a character, and I'm not doing like the wrinkles yet, that's the tertiary details, but I've got pretty much the anatomical form stance, so.
Dude, heck yeah, dude.
I call it a night. Gave her very big lips.
Hey, I mean, I penciled some of this page and inked the rest of the John Wick page today, so.
Bro, are we fucking artists?
Are we professionals?
Wow. Okay, I don't know about me. I don't know. You are. You are. Bro, I'm really stoked about the anthology. I'm gonna wind down a little bit with the comic though tonight. But I'm really stoked about the anthology for sure.
Sweet.
Can't wait
Thank
to
you,
get
my
that.
friend. The way it's meant to be read, in your hands.
Yeah, tell Christian to send that to me, or else I'm gonna find him.
I'll let him know. I'll let him know.
Odin says, "Wow, do it."
Wow. Wow. Yeah. All right.
All right, friend. I'm gonna jump off. Are you jumping off?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here too. I mean it's late. I need to call it. So.
All right. Well, maybe we'll be on tomorrow night. Maybe I'll see if you jump on.
I got a band practice tomorrow, but we'll see how I feel.
Oh, ooh, hot. Okay, I just fantasize about that instead.
But we'll see.
Alright,
We'll
man.
see. I might get on Friday or during the weekend sometime too. But
Cool. Well, to everyone in chat, good night.
yeah, good night,
Good
everybody.
hanging
Thanks for coming, hanging out, all the follows, all the conversations and everything. It's great. It's fantastic. So.
All right. Night,
Follow me.
Manny.
See you, my friend.
All right, spook.
Bye. Alrighty. Good night, dudes. Yes, indeed. Good night. Good night. I just need to find the end stream button. Alright. Well, I'll be on either Friday or this weekend. And if not, definitely Monday, definitely Tuesday, definitely Wednesday. So, enjoy, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good tomorrow. And see you next time.